I've recently been learning more about surrender and embodying this as my new way of life. Before this, I was in conscious manifesting and visualization mode. I'm wondering what your thoughts and experiences are on surrendering to our soul destiny versus conscious manifesting. It seems like there is pressure in spiritual entrepreneur circles to visualize and create your future, which seems to be counter to surrendering to the bigger destiny of your life. So this is a great question, and it is in fact very common. There's still this dominant energy in spirituality and in personal development circles. There's this idea that we need to manifest and materialize things and dream our lives into being, and we use vision boards and visualization and all these different things. And the reason that that's still dominant in spirituality and personal development circles is because we're still very mind dominant in these. Even in spirituality circles, we're still very ego driven when it comes to the manifestation of our lives. And so it's getting a little bit less because I think people are starting to enter into more of this surrender mode. And that's something that I went through too. So it doesn't mean that vision boards or visualizing things is the bad way of doing things. That's not the case. There's no right or wrong here. But what I've learned through my experience, and that's really all that I can share with you, and in working with so many clients, what I learned in my experience is that the idea of going out there and materializing my dreams myself by using my willpower, visualization, my mind, it really didn't work for me at all. It left me feeling exhausted. It left me feeling burnt out. It didn't resonate with my energy at all. And I did that in the beginning of my awakening a little bit. But then what I started noticing is I really had this internal understanding of surrender even before I knew how to practice it. And so what I slowly started to do was I started to go on this path of surrender, as this person is going on also, this path of surrender. And that was based on the understanding that what I can materialize with my mind is always extremely limited when compared to the vast intelligence of the universe. And I really got into this understanding by reading specifically a book called The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. I really love that book. And that was the book that really just cracked me open to the idea of surrender. And I remember that book opens up with him saying, there are billions of things happening on the planet. The stars are moving around. The sun is coming up and going down. The tides are coming in. The flowers are blooming. All of these things are happening spontaneously in the universe without our conscious control. And Michael Singer then asked, is it possible that wonderful things can happen in your life without you controlling? And that's true. That is true. The vast majority of the universe is unfolding without our conscious control. And so then that begs the question, what can manifest in my life if I stop controlling with my mind? And that's really the work that I did. And as soon as I shifted into surrender mode, as soon as I shifted into the understanding that the universe could deliver to me so much more than my mind could ever conjure up, when I really clicked into this truth, everything changed for my life. Everything changed. My mission exploded. Everything exploded. And if you have a business, once you come into this kind of understanding, your business is going to explode also, because the universe can deliver so much more abundance to you than you could ever think of. And this worked really in my life, because what was happening was I was trying with my mind to drive my career or my mission a certain way. And the universe was over here opening different doors that my mind wasn't even aware of. And those doors were the ones that were most appropriate for my soul. So this sometimes isn't easy to get into. This sometimes isn't easy. It's really a practice, a day-to-day practice, especially if we have really controlling minds that are constantly wanting to be in charge. That's the difference. The difference here is when I try to consciously manifest, that means I'm mind dominant. When I surrender to dancing with the universe, that means that now I'm heart dominant. And so that's the difference. Now I'm being led by my my soul versus led by my mind. And so many different things can happen when you do that. But I know this isn't easy at first. This definitely is not easy. And for me, what really worked was I started to see proof in my outside environment that that worked. And so I surrendered more once I started to see the evidence that this mode of living was really in alignment with me. I surrendered more and more and more. And that's okay. It's okay for you to want to see proof and then surrender more. It's just part of our evolution. Okay. So that's what I did. I started to just open up to the universe and say to the universe, I am willing to become a vessel or a vehicle for the universe to manifest through me instead of me being the one that thinks that I'm doing the manifesting. Totally different energy. I'm willing and open to be a vehicle or a vessel for the universe to manifest through me. Totally different energy. It's going to take a little bit of practice because you have to transition from that mind dominant vision board kind of thinking to a more open-hearted surrendering kind of energy. Now, a lot of times I want to leave this here because a lot of times what happens is when I'm teaching people to go into surrender and to start dancing with the universe, a lot of times people will say to me that that feels very passive. It feels like I'm just sitting around waiting for the universe to throw things at me. And it's really not a passive energy at all. Surrender is not passive because surrender doesn't mean I stop acting or I stop interacting with life. Surrender means that I open myself up to the possibility that the universe can deliver much more to me than I could ever deliver through myself. Okay. And when I open up to that energy, I still have to interact with the universe. So if you use me as an example, like I'm a hardworking person. I have a very strong work ethic. I'm out there. I'm a go-getter. I'm action oriented too, although I've done a lot of work with feminine energy too. So now I know how to act and then not act, being masculine and in feminine. That's work that I had to do on myself. But the point is, I still continue to interact with life. I don't sit on the couch waiting for the universe to deliver anything for me. I realize that the art of surrendering means that I'm out there interacting with life, but I'm interacting with life in an open way, knowing that what the universe puts in front of me is for my own benefit and that I'm going to go heart and soul into whatever the universe wants to manifest for me. Okay. This is hard sometimes to really explain in 1, 2, 3 steps because this isn't a linear thing. You have to learn how to trust the universe. You have to learn how to work with that energy, and you have to learn to open up to the idea. Once you open up to the idea that the universe can deliver to you much more than your mind can, then that's when the play starts, because then you start trusting the universe more. You start following the synchronicities of the universe. And if you read the Surrender Experiment, you'll understand what I mean by saying yes to life and following the synchronicities, because that's exactly what Michael Singer did in his book. So that's a must read if you really want to get into what we're talking about here. But the point here is to open up more, trust the universe, open up more, follow the synchronicities, follow where the universe wants to take you, and that will lead you to your highest path, and it will lead you to more abundance, and it will lead you to more fulfillment than you could ever possibly put on a vision board. Your vision board pales in comparison to what the universe can deliver if you just open your energy and stop trying to control everything. All right. So hope this helps. Yes, surrender is it's a much more powerful path in my opinion. And it's a path that's there's a lot less stress involved. There's no pressure. You don't feel like you have to control everything. So that's definitely something that I resonate with, and I hope you resonate with it and continue also to develop that. And you'll see with time that you're going to end up living a life that's beyond any dreams that you could have conjured up in your mind.